very warm welcome to all our viewers to our show Yoga, a harmony between the mind, body and soul. Pranayam is a very important component of yoga, and therefore here is one episode that is completely dedicated to pranayam.
Pranayam is control of breath. It is derived from the words prana and ayam. Prana means breath or bioenergy in the body. On subtle levels, prana represents the pranic energy responsible for life or life force, and ayam means control. So pranayam is control of breath. One can control the rhythms of pranic energy with pranayam and achieve a healthy body and mind.
श्वास को अपने वश में रखते हुए जब आप चलाते हैं, लेते हैं, रोकते हैं, छोड़ते हैं, साधारण भाषा में इसी का नाम प्राणायाम.
In Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, pranayam appears at the fourth stage. This means unless one observes yam and niyam and does asanas well, he cannot reach this fourth stage. Contrary to Ashtanga Yoga stages, many yoga exponents prefer to practice pranayam before the practice of asanas and also teach it before the more difficult asanas are taught. Different parts of yoga are followed by different teachers due to its timelessness and differential understanding of the codes of conduct. But before examining the exercises of breathing, it is necessary to understand the process of breathing. The breathing process chiefly involves two activities, namely inhaling and exhaling. Of these, the inhaling is called purak and exhaling rechak in Yoga Shastra. These two activities continue non-stop right from the birth to the death of a person. The study when these two activities are made to hold is given the name Kumbhak in yoga studies. The hold after inhaling, that is purak, is called Abhyantra Kumbhak, and after exhaling, that is rechak, it is called Bahaya Kumbhak. Before delving further into pranayam, it is important to understand and perform basic pranayam that prepares you for more advanced form of the same. In this episode, we too will focus on the same. Let us begin with Sahaj Pranayam. In this type of pranayam, one should sit in Padmasana or Sukhasana. Remember to keep the spine straight and the body should be in a comfortable position. Once the practitioner is comfortable, remember to initially start by breathing in slowly and expand the stomach along with this kriya. Then breathe out slowly and contract the stomach. Repeat the sequence between 3 to 5 minutes. The benefits of Sahaj Pranayam are many and varied. It firstly enables the practitioner to increase the duration for both breathing processes, mainly inhaling and exhaling. Secondly, it enables the lungs to hold oxygen to the maximum. This yoga practitioners believe increases prana or life energy. Nadi Shodhan Pranayam is another popular and widely pursued type of pranayam. To practice it, sit in Padmasana or Sukhasana. The spine should be straight and the practitioner should be sitting in an upright position. Close the right nostril with the thumb and left nostril with the ring finger of the right hand. Remember, do not press or exert pressure on the nose. Now breathe in slowly through the left nostril while closing the right nostril with the thumb. Then breathe out through the right nostril. While breathing out, keep the left nostril closed with the middle finger. Then breathe in with the right nostril while keeping the left nostril closed. Breathe out through the left nostril. This is one cycle. Ideally, this cycle should be done for about 7 cycles or about 5 minutes, though this can be done for longer periods also. But remember that the practice of Nadi Shodhan Pranayam should be done slowly. There are many benefits of Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. As the name suggests, it purifies all nerves and clears the mind of unnecessary clutter. The heart also becomes stronger, and it is believed that it helps in increasing self-confidence. Another extremely easy and popular form of pranayam is Brahmari Pranayam. To be able to perform this type of pranayam, the practitioner is expected to sit either in Padmasana or Sukhasana, whatever is more comfortable. Then close the ears with the help of the 4 fingers. Then breathe in, taking deep breaths. While breathing out, hum with open teeth, though the lips should touch one another. Remember, concentrate on the humming. This cycle can be repeated 9 to 10 times. It helps people rid themselves of frequent headaches. It is also believed to strengthen the mind and take care of any deficiency that a practitioner may have above the throat area. With the advent of the summer season, Shitali Pranayam is advised, as it is used to cool and calm the body in the intense summer heat. To practice Shitali Pranayam, sit in either Sukhasana or Padmasana. The body should be loose, though the spine should be straight. Take the tongue out and fold it from both edges as shown here. It should look like a drain pipe. Now breathe out. Then breathe in through this drain-like tongue. Continue this about 8 to 10 times. This is especially an effective way to quench thirst and fight the heat. If Jalandhar Bandh is applied while practicing Shitali Pranayam, it is even more effective. Shitkari Pranayam is another easy do-it-yourself type of pranayam. In this, the practitioner is usually expected to sit in either Sukhasana or Padmasana. Then, join together the upper and the lower set of teeth with one another. Then fix the front portion of the tongue to the palate, touching the jaws. Then, breathe in deeply from both the left and the right side. Press the teeth and jaws. Make a hissing sound while breathing in. Inhale as much air as you can and try and retain it for as long as you can. Then breathe out. This type of pranayam helps the body cool down in the summer heat. It is believed that it helps cure the many throat-related ailments and boils in the mouth. To make Shitkari Pranayam more effective, Jalandhar Bandh can be applied here too. Next in line is Bhasrika Pranayam. Bhasrika basically means to bellow. In this type of pranayam, the process of inhaling and exhaling is quickened. To practice it, sit in either Padmasana or Sukhasana and remember to keep the spine straight. The neck should also be straight. Now breathe in quickly and breathe out with a jerk. Keep your left hand on the stomach. Observe that while breathing in, the stomach gets inflated, and while breathing out, it gets deflated. Practice this about 15 to 20 times. Once the cycle is over, then close the left nostril with the help of the thumb and breathe with your right nostril. Inhale as much air as you can, then shut both your nostrils and bend your neck forward in such a way that the chin touches the collarbone. This kriya is also called Jalandhar Bandh. Try and hold your breath for as long as you can comfortably. Then lift your head to the original position and breathe out through your right nostril. This is one complete cycle of Bhastrika Pranayam. Try and practice this cycle at least thrice for best results. This type of pranayam helps in gaining control over the mind, and usually it is observed that laziness or sleeplessness vanishes after its practice. It also helps the practitioner meditate. Due to centuries of existence, yoga has certain components that different exponents profess that they belong to different types of yoga. One such component is Kapalbhati. It is a breathing procedure that is included in both pranayam and the Shat Karmas. Both schools of yoga exponents vouch by the fact that they are correct and have the proof that Kapalbhati is a component of what they believe to be the correct part of yoga. But we feel that it can be counted in any of the two parts of yoga, as it cleanses the sinuses and is of course a breathing procedure. We have included Kapalbhati in the Shat Karmas and we are including it here too. And so let us show you how it is done.
जैसे ही श्वास झटके से छोड़ते हैं, पेट अंदर खींचना, झटके से छोड़ना, पेट अंदर खींचना, हाँ, इसी क्रम को कीजिए.
Once the practice of pranayam is over for the day, yoga exponents recommend a relaxing routine to the practitioners. Under this routine, the practitioner should warm up his hands by rubbing them together like this. Then lift the head up in this fashion. Finally, run down the hands from the head down to the throat region in a soothing and soft manner. Pranayam is considered a highly effective form of yoga and can be practiced by almost all. But as it deals with an involuntary and extremely important activity of the human body, professional help is advised.
निचोड़ ये निकाल दिया अंत में कि प्राणायाम आदि युक्तेन सर्व रोग क्षयो भवेत, अयुक्ताभ्यास योगेन सर्व रोग समुद्भवा. कि जो युक्ति से प्राणायाम करता है, विधि विधान से करता है, किसी अच्छे योगी के यहाँ जाके सीखता है, उसके सारे रोग दूर हो जाते हैं प्राणायाम के अभ्यास से. और जो लोग ऐसे ही अनाप शनाप कहीं से भी पकड़ा, खुद ही देखा देखी कर लिया, तो उससे उनको एक नहीं सैकड़ों रोग आके घेर लेते हैं.
Before we take your leave, we would like to state that there are some do's and don'ts that must be followed, such as the place where pranayam is practiced should be peaceful. The time should be appropriate, that is, it should neither be too hot nor too cold when pranayam is practiced. The practitioner should consume a balanced and mild diet. He should not overeat or should not be overfed. The simple Nadi Shodhan pranayam should be done initially. Then finally, pranayam should be practiced.
हमारे शास्त्रों में कहा है, यथा सिंहो गजो व्याघ्रो भवेद वशयो शनै शनै तथैव सेवितो वायुरन्यथा अंति साधकम. कि जैसे शेर, चीते और हाथी को धीरे धीरे वश में किया जाता है, ठीक वैसे ही प्राणों का कंट्रोल किया जाना चाहिए, अन्यथा ये आप साधक को मार भी सकता है।
Apart from the different types of simple pranayam that are shown in this episode, many yoga exponents also showcase other simple pranayam techniques that can be and should be followed.
So this was our episode on pranayam. We will be back again shortly. Till then, from the entire team, it's goodbye.